Greetings and salutations. Greetings and salutations, my friends. Welcome to a tea party with me
Yes,
and my friend, Deann Shield Maiden Tarot. Greetings, Deann. How are you today?
yeah, I'm doing good. I'm excited to get to be on here with you. I said I haven't been on for a long time, so I'm glad the first time I come on would be with my friend, you know?
Uh,
And anyway,
Go
I
ahead.
I don't know what we're talking about, but I'm happy to talk with you about anything.
All right. All right. So here we, oh, hold on. My paper's flying away from me.
Don't
Today,
she look cute,
everyone.
you guys, in that hat? Don't she look cute?
Oh, thank you. Y'all, today we're going to be talking about secret societies.
Oh
And I've
yeah.
got some videos that I'm going to show. It's going to be a little janky, y'all, because I don't know how to do the show the videos on my computer. So I'm gonna be showing them on my Kindle. But I'm good. All of the videos that I'm using, the descriptions are in the chat. So if you'd like to go back and save the video so you can watch it later, all the information is in the live chat. So y'all, please, we're gonna do the introduction. Since this is about secret societies, I'm going to allow this person to explain what a secret society is. And this is by What Do Secret Societies Really Teach by Morgue Official.
When you think of secret societies, what comes to your mind?
Back it up just a little.
There are many different secret societies. So, specifically, we're exploring one of the most influential societies in the occult world, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The whole Golden Dawn.
Hold on.
I've watched him sometimes. Yeah, we was talking about this Sunday, you guys, all this stuff, and Tanya says we should do a show on this because we were in a long conversation about it.
Hold on. Let me do this again. All right.
Okay,
I moved the light, so
When you think of
hopefully you can
secret
see.
societies, what comes to your mind? There are many different secret
there you
societies. So,
go.
specifically, we're exploring one of the most influential societies in the occult world, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The whole Golden Dawn structure was allegedly based on a bizarre set of encrypted papers called the cipher manuscripts. See, the Golden Dawn wasn't just a chaotic group of mystics performing random rituals. No,
I'm sorry, y'all. This is harder than I thought it was going to be. Hold on. I'm trying to get the glare off.
The glare, yeah, getting a lot of glare on the screen. Like when you tilted it
when you think of
down a little
secret
bit, just a
societies,
little
what
bit,
comes to
that
your mind?
you
There are
see better.
many different secret societies. So,
Yeah, there.
specifically, we're exploring one of the most influential societies in the occult world, the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn. The whole Golden Dawn structure was allegedly based on a bizarre set of encrypted papers called the cipher manuscripts. See, the Golden Dawn wasn't just a chaotic group of mystics performing random rituals. No, it was extremely organized. Every member was placed in a grade, and you had to work your way up. The higher you climbed, the more knowledge and power you gained. So each grade you rise through corresponds to a sephira on the tree of life and one of the four classical elements: earth, air, fire, and water. But first, what the hell is the tree of life? Well, it's an esoteric blueprint, and in the Golden Dawn, it's used as a map of the soul, consciousness, and spiritual growth. The highest level of the Golden Dawn was always about power beyond comprehension, power that could alter reality itself. But here's the thing: secret societies making claims of discovering mysterious artifacts and contact with higher beings isn't unique. It's a tactic. Myth and legend like this makes the leader's decisions seem more important, like they came from a higher place. But the truth is, you don't need to join a secret society, swear an oath, or search for hidden manuscripts to access this knowledge. Everything you've been seeking, the power, the wisdom, the tools for transformation, they're already within you. You hold the key. When you think of secret societies, what comes to your
All
mind?
right. That was a perfect intro. The most important thing that he just said was about the secret societies is that everything that these secret societies promise you, you already possess. Let me read this I've got a lot of tabs open, so I need to close some of them, y'all. So, what is a secret society? A secret society is an organization about which the activities, events, inner functioning, membership, and sometimes also existence are concealed. The term usually excludes covert groups such as intelligence agencies or guerrilla warfare insurgencies that hide their activities and memberships but maintain a public presence. This is so important because these secret societies that we're talking about today, number one, all of them are predominantly patriarchal, which means they are men only. Now, recently, Skull and Bones has begun accepting females into the Skull and Bones chapter, but there's only a handful of females in that. So,
That's the one Bush Senior was in, right? And he wouldn't tell
yes,
anything
and
about it.
I actually, when we get to the Skull and Bones,
Mm-hmm.
I'll give a short list of people who are in the Skull and Bones uh, society, and that is you have to be an Eli, you have to go to Yale College, you get selected in your, I believe, in your junior year, so that you go through your senior year. Your junior year, I think you go through the hazing, and in your senior year, you're a Skull and Bones. But almost, almost every president that went to Yale was in Skull and Bones.
Really? You know,
Yeah.
and the name, just the name Skull and Bones, it just sounds
Yes, and the
nefarious.
whole thing is it is a death cult. But it was started by a couple of kids who just wanted to start their own gang, and that's what it turned into. But it is. I don't think they're under the Alphabet Society, but oh yes,
Mhm.
yes they are. They are Phi, I think Phi Beta Alpha or Phi Alpha something. But yes, they are a Greek society. They are. So that being said, I've got a couple of videos that I want to talk about, but I've got a list here. The first thing we're going to talk about, because I want to talk about what's affecting people who look like me, and this is the Black Boule, okay? And the Black Boule is a group of, they call themselves Sigma Pi Phi. This is the oldest Black Greek fraternity, founded in Pennsylvania in 1904. It does not have not one college chapter. So you will not be able to find a Sigma Pi Phi on any college ground, but you can join the fraternity if you are invited. Um, it is designed for professionals in their mid-career or older. So a lot of doctors, a lot of politicians, a lot of actors, singers, artists, but they don't start off in the boule. They don't get to be in the boule until they are in the middle of their career.
Boule, that's the first
WEB,
time I heard of it.
yeah, well, that is the group. It's a gatekeeping group of Black professionals that are kind of evil in a whole bunch of ways. Our predominant Sean P. Diddy Combs is
Oh.
Black Boule. They're the gatekeepers. These are the people, and you say, well, what did he do? He was the CEO of a company, of a music company.
Mhm.
He had charge over people's destinies, and that's what most of these secret societies are. Some prominent members of the Black Boule are W.E.B. Du Bois. He doesn't want to call himself Du Bois. W.E.B. Du Bois. Martin Luther King Jr.
Really?
Walter White from the NAACP, Whitney Young, from the National Urban League and Sean P. Diddy Combs, to name a few. These are gatekeepers. So people on my channel have heard me say some unkind things about Martin Luther King. And I will say why I say what I say about Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was a plant. He was a government plant put right into the black population. His whole let's march peacefully. No violence. And who were the only peaceful ones? All the black people were peaceful. No arms, no fighting, no resistance. Everybody else was armed and attacking. So the only thing that Dr. Martin Luther King did was turn a whole bunch of black women, men, and children into public whipping boys for the Klan, for the city governments, and everything, because nobody stopped them from turning fire hoses on those people. Nobody stopped them from turning dogs, setting dogs out, from the police going out with their billy clubs and just beating the heads in, and then filling the jails up with them, taking their money and then letting them out so that they can go and protest the next night and get arrested again and have to get bailed out again. It was a money-making scheme for the cities that these marches were held in. But the biggest injustice was that a whole group of people, literally, we were lemmings sent running to the edge of a cliff with no safety net. Literally, hundreds of thousands of black people being marched like cattle to the slaughter. The only reason that we prevailed was because of the fact of who those people were.
So you had him telling the one side, the black side, don't be violent, but nobody's telling the white side, don't be violent.
Don't you? He told us, don't fight back. Don't fight back. How different would our world be today had we fought back? Had we, as we came together in mass, we outnumbered the police. We outnumbered the Klan. If we had brought guns, this whole country would look different.
Yeah,
but
and
because we followed,
scared because now they think, oh, they're being outnumbered. They're going to be outnumbered. That's why they keep trying to get white women to have babies.
Yes, and this is why
birth control and stuff.
And I'm sorry I'm yelling, but I'm so passionate about this. But this is why what is going on right now is so scary for everybody, because these secret societies, they aren't for the good of nobody. They are exclusive only, and it is about controlling other people and taking what they have and making it yours. Every single one of these secret societies, it's all about power and manipulation and money. But the number one thing is power.
Jay-Z is in it too, you think? That society you were telling me about, that Diddy's in?
Now tell me, Jay-Z, who was for the last freaking 20 years walking around with them 4 big ass braids looking like doggone Stymie from the doggone Our Gang, and he is the prominent figure over the NFL. You want to talk about a power play? You got one nappy headed looking like a caricature that is over the whole white NFL. That can tell the leader of the white NFL what the show is gonna be. Oh yes, not only is Jay-Z Black Boule, Jay-Z is he's a lizard. Let's just call a lizard. He's a reptilian, just like Peter Thiel. He is a reptilian. So and he's one of the prominent members of the quote unquote Illuminati, which is, and we're going to talk about that, and that's the Vril Society, the Illuminati, and That's a really good one. In fact, I think we're going to skip to the Vril Society since that one is so interesting. So I'm going to read about the Vril, and then I'm going to show you a nice little video. All right, let me find the video. Here we go. And it's a short video. So the Vril Society in Germany, in Nazi Germany, this is how long these folks have been around. The Vril came around during World War II, during Nazi Germany. The Vril Society was the rise of Nazism. The Vril are interterrestrial lizards. The way that they enter the body is through the left eye. So when you see all these stars with that black eye on the is only on the left side though.
Yes.
So a
and
left
always do this.
side,
They always do
yes,
this left eye thing.
Yes, the left eye, black eye. This is the entity, the Vril, the eye worm enters the left eye, consumes the person, and takes over that person. It literally kills the original person who was in the body and takes over the body. Some ones that you can tell who have been taken over: Madonna. You just look at Madonna. Look at Madonna. Madonna does not look like anything that she
Not like the
was.
early Madonna. I mean, I know
She
she's
does
older,
not-
but it's not that.
Also, Ozzy Osbourne's wife.
Oh, really?
Yes.
It seems like all of them I see
Yes.
that are famous. Really famous do
Ariana
this.
Grande.
I know. poor thing.
Ariana Grande has been taken over. When she did Wicked, that's when they took her.
Yes,
They
and
took
she
her.
said they wiped her memory. She said
Yes.
she went to some place and they wiped her memory, and
Yes.
then all of a sudden she's looking skeletal, you know.
That's the Vril. That
And
is
the
the
lady
Vril.
with her that played the Wicked
Yes,
Witch,
she was
her
taken
too?
as well. They went together. So here I'm going to show the video of the Vril. So y'all out there in TV land, y'all forgive me for not being able to show this on my computer, but I just don't know how to. So honesty is always the best medicine. So here is the Vril parasite.
Let's see.
Win the battle in the trenches.
Okay, I can see it.
Okay.
Scientists found parasitic worms
That's
inside the
good.
brains of lizard embryos before the animals ever hatch. How did they get there? It turns out that these parasitic worms hide out in the ovaries of the lizard's mothers and then make their way into the developing embryo before a hardened shell forms around the animal. The scientists that found these worms believe this is the first time a parasite has been found that passed from a mother reptile into its offspring. This has been found in mammalian species where a parasite can either pass through the placenta to the developing animal, or it can be passed on through the breast milk after birth. Because this sort of parasitic transmission hadn't been seen in reptiles before, scientists thought that by laying eggs, reptiles actually restricted the number of ways that parasites can get into their young. So they'd have to wait until the animals actually hatch before, burrowing into their brains. But after making the shocking discovery of these worms inside lizard embryos, scientists now think that reptilian embryos might be more vulnerable to parasites than once thought. But they don't yet know how these worms might affect the animal's health and behavior after they hatch.
Okay. Now that was on how it transfers from lizard to lizard. Now I'm gonna go to the Vril in humans. Here we go.
All right, put on your tinfoil hats, guys, because today we're talking about vril parasites. These beings are considered to be an intraterrestrial reptilian species. Some call them vril type 1 lizards. They're allegedly parasitic, carnivorous, and malevolent entities that love to engage in sadistic and debaucherous behavior. They have an appendage called a proboscis at the top of their head that detaches, and their entire consciousness can be injected into a human's eye to take over their body. Once it enters the body, it swirls around the optic nerve and then proceeds to an area of the brain where it will excrete the parasitic cells and kill the human. After taking over the body, it's called a drone. Here's a picture of Dolly holding one up with what seems to be an injured person behind him, possibly someone who was just droned. It's believed that this is why you see so many high-ranking officials and celebrities with these gnarly black eyes. It is pretty weird when you think about it, because how many people do you know that have ever had a black eye in their entire life? Oftentimes, these parasites are able to retain the former human's memories and are able to replicate their behaviors. This makes it easier for the parasite to assimilate and not cause suspicion from the victim's immediate friends or family. Basically, these reptilian beings will use human hosts in high-ranking positions to gain control and influence so that they can serve the Illuminati and other occult societies' interests. This is allegedly why you're often seeing depictions of the all-seeing eye. To prevent the breakdown of the human host body, apparently the Vril needs to regularly ingest stem cell-rich blood. We've heard plenty of stories of celebrities drinking blood and harming babies. It's possible this is why there's such a large-scale agenda to promote abortion and fund Planned Parenthood. Women are also pushed to give birth in hospitals, where their placentas are often stolen and sold to the highest bidder. So how can you tell if someone's been droned? Aside from the very blatant black eye, followed by around 2 weeks of sickness, a lot of drones lose their hair early in life, male and female. Some of them are devoid of intelligence, so they don't understand dry humor or sarcasm. They also exhibit psychotic behaviors, such as lack of empathy and sympathy. They enjoy engaging in deviant acts of perversion, self-gratification, and even torture. I think this theory is super interesting. I want to believe that the people in power who commit these horrifying atrocities are not human, but what do you guys think?
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And I wondered because I see all the presidents have had that black eye. I don't know if Obama did, but I've seen all the other ones have that black eye and
I
stars and stuff like that. I never thought about it being something like that. Do you think it takes their whole consciousness away, or are they
Yes,
still in there?
it consumes them. It consumes them. It takes it from that parasite. Because of it, and we have to call a parasite what a parasite is. A parasite is something without its own body. It needs to inhabit something else to live. So it
Wow.
is an extraterrestrial being that has to have a host so that it can live on this planet.
Why would they do that though if they know that's going to take over their consciousness? I mean, if they have
Because
power,
they
they're not
live
gonna
because it makes them they're immortal. They're no longer human. So when you sign, that's why read contracts. People read contracts, and you have no idea what you are agreeing to when you mark your X on something. When these people sign their name and agree to do what these agencies tell them to do for money, and this is a form of prostitution. Yes, it is. You're giving this and you're giving money back to me for providing you with this. So the whole give and take is a kind of a prostitutional type thing. I'm going to use you and your abilities, but for me using you, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to get you lots and lots of money. There is no difference between that and prostitution. Somebody prove me wrong. But the whole thing is you have to have that mindset. Because secret societies require, number one, they require your allegiance. They require your silence, but they require your money, because you have to keep the secret society going. I'm going to skip to Bohemian Grove now, because we're
Okay.
talking about money. Bohemian Grove, number one, this is almost all men. well, all the members are men. Only men can be members of Bohemian Grove. But every year, these men go out there for 2 weeks to go
Yep.
out there and be in the woods naked with each other, dancing around under a great big old owl. And the owl is the symbol of knowledge, and it's also the symbol of the occult. So, but who belongs to Bohemian Grove? They are congressmen, presidents, but a whole lot of people in the government are members of Bohemian Grove. They get together to decide how they're going to use us.
Yeah, and they set alliance for themselves and for their children and everything else I've heard to be in that. I heard
Yes,
the
they
owl
do.
was something like Moloch or something like that, that they sacrifice babies
Yes,
to that.
yes. But see that thing with the vril, and see, this is where the vril is rampant all through all of these secret societies. It's like they've all been taken over by the same entity. The vril, the reptilian
Mm-hmm.
vril. So, let's see. Bohemian Grove was found by actor Harry Edwards. The owl that they worship is Moloch.
Yes.
That is a demon god, which is associated with, check this out, child sacrifice.
Yes.
The owl symbolizes wisdom, silence, and observation, and night, hidden knowledge. To be in the Bohemian Grove society, you have to reject the light in favor of secrecy. Some prominent members of Bohemian Grove were President Nixon, President Reagan, President Hoover, George H.W. Bush, President Roosevelt, and General Colin Powell.
Wow. I heard
So-
too that you could be a certain bloodline too. This one kid, he said that he was a bloodline, so they asked him to be in it. And when he seen what they did, he went running, you know,
Now-
didn't want to do with it.
And that is true. If you are, that's called a legacy.
Yes.
If a grandfather or father was a member, then a son or grandson can be a legacy member. But that
Yes.
is in all of these secret societies, including the Skull and Bones. So if one of, because George H.W. Bush was in Skull and Bones, George Walker Bush, his son, was also in, and his two of his sons made it into Skull and Bones. So there are there's 4 Bushes, because the elder Bush, George H.W.'s father,
Mm-hmm.
was the original Eli that was in the Skull and Bones.
You think
So
Trump's,
everybody after him was legacy.
you think Trump's in it? The Skull and Bones also? Or the
No.
Bohemian? No?
No. Bohemian Grove, he may be. He very well may be in Bohemian Grove. He can't be in Skull and Bones. You have to be an Eli. You have to
be
go
able-
to Yale. Yeah, you
Okay, so
cannot,
what-
you don't, there's no complimentary entry into Skull and Bones. You have to be an Eli.
But Bohemian Grove. Now, have you seen him with a black eye? I've seen all these different people, but I have not seen him with
Who,
the black
Trump?
eye. Mm-hmm.
No, but see, the Bohemian Grove, most of them, you wouldn't even see them with a black eye. The Viril Society, most of them, the ones, when you see them with a black eye, most of them are throwing up this sign.
Yeah, and they're doing it right sometimes in
Yes.
front of the eye.
Yes,
But
they're
do
doing
this.
it right over the left eye. They're throwing up that sign.
They put it in
So,
your face. the
That sign or
magazine.
this, but it's this. And this is 666. But
Oh.
the whole, that's 666. And when they put it over the eye, they're saying that they are a member of the Illuminati.
Trump does
So
that sign all the time when he's talking. You see him like this.
yeah, but he
All the
does that and he does this. He
And they
does
do
the
this.
white power.
Yes, yes.
So yeah, that he does. He throws up a lot of gang signs. But remember, Trump is a lizard. He's already. He doesn't have to get a black eye. He's already a lizard. He's not human.
No,
So
I can
Trump
believe
and
that.
Trump is a lizard. The dude that's always standing next to Cash Patel of the guy over the money, he's a
Mhm.
lizard. That's a whole lizard. He is not human. And that new woman, holy cow! Though that new woman that they just brought into the cabinet, she
Yes.
can't even walk like a human yet.
No,
That
no.
she is not used to her human suit, and her neck is too long. Holy cow! She's gonna split out of her human suit. It is funny watching that thing.
Did you see on Fox? I don't usually watch Fox, but they had a guy where you could see it was a mask. You could see his Adam apple and you could see the gap, and everybody's seen it. And there was no doubt about it. He's wearing a mask. And when they asked him about it, he wouldn't say. And the next time you seen him, he had a shirt like this, Tanya. It was buttoned up all the way to his
All the
chin.
way to the top.
Mhm.
So here we go. Before my stereo speaker is about to die, so I'm gonna play the Bohemian Grove rites and rituals.
The Bohemian Grove didn't start as a global power summit. It began in 1872 when a group of journalists, artists, and performers in San Francisco decided they needed a break from the city and the public. They called themselves the Bohemian Club. Leading the charge was Harry Edwards, a British-born entomologist and Shakespearean actor. He believed men of talent needed a place to escape the grind of city life and reconnect with nature. He was joined by Daniel O'Connell, a poet and journalist, and Ambrose Bierce, a sharp-tongued writer best known for the Devil's Dictionary. Ironically, Bierce would later mock the club for trading artistic spirit for social climbing, calling it a sanctuary for rich clowns. Because their motto was, "We shall be as free as birds," they were supposed to be free, untethered, drifting where the wind takes them. But by the late 1800s, it wasn't just writers and painters who wanted in. Bankers, businessmen, and politicians started joining at the club. Art gave way to influence. Nature gave way to networking. Eventually, the group bought 2,700 acres of remote redwood forest in Monte Rio, California. That land would become the Grove. From the outside, it looked like summer camp for old men. Outdoor plays, drinking songs, and costume parties. But behind the trees, something else was happening. A new motto emerged: weaving spiders, come not here. A poetic way of saying, leave your business at the gate. Except nobody ever really did. The Bohemian Grove didn't start as a global power summit. It began in 1872 when a group of journalists, artists, and performers in San Francisco.
All right. We don't have to go through it twice. So, but that was very interesting because that the marquee on the outside, weaving spiders, come not here. Kind of that's in the loose lips sink ships type
Yeah.
of the same type of understanding. So it's the whole thing about that secret place. And what people really should understand about this and all of these very patriarchal societies is that they all devolve into same-sex orgies. Every single one of them.
You
So
think
it's all
Scientology is
about debauchery, huh?
You think Scientology is one of those types of things too?
Absolutely, I do. Absolutely. Exclusive. They take children and separate them from their parents.
Mm-hmm.
Any place that takes the children and separates them from the parents and makes it to where the parents are no longer the legal guardians of those children, those
Yes.
children are being harmed.
Mm-hmm.
Harmed physically, mentally, emotionally. They're being harmed and they're being used because children are the currency of these secret societies, especially the Vril, since they eat them. They have to eat humans. So when
Oh, froze.
we used to talk about the old the movies, the shows that we used to watch on oh gosh, Twilight Zone.
Oh,
Twilight
that
Zone.
show.
Remember,
Mm-hmm.
remember when the aliens came to Earth and they were like trying to decode the book, and when the man finally decoded, he was like, "No, it's a cookbook.
Yeah,
They're gonna eat us.
we're
They're
here to
taking you
serve humanity, to serve humans.
to
My
serve
husband has that
humanity."
shirt. We're here to
Yes,
serve humans. They meant as a dish.
yes, as a side dish. We're here to serve humanity up with a side of gravy.
Yes. Yes. And then the Black Mirror, I don't know if you've seen that. A lot of that stuff is stuff that's coming to pass right now, or
It is
is.
stuff that has been going on for eons. They're not showing us anything new. What they're doing is confessing.
Yeah, Leave the World Behind was where they were talking about, the grid going down, and look at Gary, Indiana, and now
I have not seen the movie Leave the World Behind, but I kind of feel like we're in the middle of it right now.
we are. You should see it. We're
I don't
here.
have to. I am not going to do that to myself. And I'm going to encourage people. If you are out of that fear matrix, if you have already left that behind, resist the urge to watch anything that is going to draw you in to the fear matrix. That is one way to lower your vibration, is through fear. And we need to be letting go of fear at this time. We cannot be walking around afraid of anything. Remember, y'all, everything in this world is built on energy, frequency, and vibration. Everything scary is low vibrating.
And they want that.
Yes,
They want
that's
that.
why
They want the
everything,
fear.
that's why the world is the way it is. Everything is too expensive. Just for people can't even go out and just have a nice cheap day, go out and have an ice cream, or just to go out and walk. And it's really funny because I said, my dad had called me the other day and he asked me, he said, "What you doing?" I said, "I'm staying at home." I said, "Because it's too expensive to leave the house." And he was like, "What you talking about?" I was like, "Every time I leave the house, it costs me $100. No matter
Yes.
what I'm doing, if I leave the house, it costs me $100."
Remember,
So,
you
and
said you took the kids to the pool and it cost you, well, how much it cost you for just 3 people
oh,
to
just to
pool?
get into
water
the
park?
pool, to the water park with me and two children, it was $130 something to go to a water park.
For an
And it
hour.
was 100, for 4 hours. But it was
Yeah.
125 degrees that day. And
Crazy.
everything at the park, everything started, the prices started. Nothing was $5. They surpassed you. If you've got a $5 bill, you can't get nothing at that park, because now everything that was $5, you can get a soda for $5. No, that's $6.75 now.
I
So
think this is
everything
a
is
plan.
about hurting people.
Yeah, this is a plan. I feel like Gary, Indiana is part of an experimental plan to see what will people do
It's
with
not
the
a
grid
it's not
system.
a part of the experiment. This is, if you this is part this we are checking off Project 2025. And
Yeah,
that's why it
game
is
mode
so
1.
important. It is so important for people to ascend out of that.
Yeah.
I have been trying to get people ready for the last 3 years that this has been coming, and now we're in the middle of it. The whole earth is shaking like a washing machine. We've got earthquakes, volcanoes, the ice walls are melting. What
Floods.
happened in Nepal? Holy cow. The first video of that, and the whole thing is happening in 4K. You
What
know that
happened to Nepal? I've been kind of away from TV a little bit.
oh my God. Oh, Nepal, in the Himalayas,
Yeah.
it got wiped out.
What?
A wall of water came down the Alps and destroyed. There's thousands of people are dead.
Oh my
Hundreds of thousands
God.
of people are dead. I can't, oh my gosh. Yes. That's been the news for the last 3 days.
Yeah, I haven't watched
And
the
they
news.
have it in 4K. You see people you see people die in
Wow.
real time. A wall of water traveling faster than sound came down that mountain and engulfed it blew Nepal apart like a bomb.
Wow. It's just, yeah, that's crazy. I never realized that had happened.
It's crazy. Oh, Mildred's talking about plus the Supreme Court. Oh, here we got some folks in the chat talking. Interplanet Janet, greetings. Interplanet Janet says many people see owls. Here, let me put it on the screen. Many people see owls as a representation of ETs, a cover story for ETs too, and that is true. Yeah, I'm
Well,
gonna show
Bush
some
said
of
it would
these.
take ETs coming down to say that we have to fight against them as humanity so that they could make the one world order. He had actually spoke about that years ago.
Yes, but they have been trying to prepare us for this since the 1950s. You got to
Mm,
think the book 1984 was written in the 50s, and everything that happened in the book 1984 has already come to pass. We
yes.
are under global surveillance, and the whole thing is they had been warning us of this happening, and now you walk out your house and 4 cameras got you. You get in your car, they know where you're going, where you've been. They can
Yes.
ping your phone and literally map every place that your phone pinged off of.
Mhm.
You have no autonomy. That's why I'm gonna show y'all.
I'm going to get one of those bags to put my phone in.
That's what I'm visiting to show y'all. This
Okay.
right here. This
That,
is
yeah.
a Faraday bag. Okay? What the only thing though is that if you use this Faraday bag with your phone must be turned off. If your phone is not turned off, it is still actively pinging. All right? So turn your phone off. And here's another thing. Even when your phone is turned off, it still pings. They are, so if you have to carry your phone with you, put it in a Faraday bag. If you can travel without your phone, leave it at home because then you're invisible. You are invisible. But what they're doing to try to force you to carry your phone is they're putting your insurance only on your phone so that you don't have paper insurance, so that if you get pulled over, you have to pull out that phone and
Yeah.
open it
Plan
up.
2030. They got a
Yeah.
plan for 2030 too, just like Project 2025. They got a Project 2030 that they're planning on, having everything digital currency by then and all that.
Yes, and that the 2030 is you will own nothing and
And
be
be
happy.
happy. Mm-hmm. Because
But
if the computers are taking your job,
that's the third dimension. And that third dimension is collapsing. Our
mhm,
world is changing. We have to, and I know this is a special show, but just the good advice for everybody. Let go of the things that are worrying you and that you allow to cause you fear. Let go of that. Change that energy. And remember, all of this stuff ain't none of this real. Ain't none of this real. Just remember that. If every time you get into a hard time, you just stop and say, ain't none of this real. Ain't none of this real. All right. Here, let me see.
did you
Oh,
see
I
that
have.
Congress, I was just curious, did you see that Congress was they were talking about the AI data centers taking the water from people and they were showing how brown it was and said, would you drink this or bathe in this? And somebody had said that humans don't need water. Humans don't need water. So
Yes, and that was a lizard that was talking to you.
uh-huh.
That was
Why
a
we
lizard. And see, that's the whole thing. The lizards don't need water. They don't need as much water as we need.
like we do?
And a way that you can tell who's a lizard, even in your own family. That dirty, stinky, won't wash their feet, won't wash their behind person who has an aversion to
To
water.
water.
Oh yeah, you looking at a lizard. That's a lizard. Could be a child, could be a senior citizen, but it's a lizard.
Mm.
That's one of the dead giveaways. They're filthy and they hate water. Cannot stand water.
Well, they're trying to buy up all the water. They were talking about that's going to be more of a like money maker. So they want to control our water, our food, everything. You know,
Yes.
buy up the
And that's
houses.
why they poisoned the air. They've co-opted the seeds to where Monsanto will come and sue you if you replant a seed from a plant that you've grown. If you take an apple seed off of an apple that you bought and you plant that apple seed and it becomes a tree, Monsanto can come sue you.
I think that's why all these fruits and vegetables are seedless now. They're
Well,
keeping
and
the seeds from us.
seedless is dead. Please, everybody needs to understand. Seedless foods are dead foods. They are dead foods. The seed is the reproductive system of the fruit. When you take the reproductive system out of the fruit, you have changed the fruit. It is no longer food.
I think that's why they don't want to plant female trees. They want to not
Exactly,
have
because if female trees grow, they can't starve people.
yeah. Nobody should be
That's why that is exactly why they only plant male trees. Number one, male trees keep everybody sick.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody stays sick. Female trees, everybody would be able to eat.
Didn't we
And
talk to you about, I'm sorry, about Israel, the leader of Israel, Netanyahu? You said he was a draconian.
Netanyahu is a draconian, yes. And the difference between draconians and reptilians, literally, is consciousness. Those draconians, they'll murder babies. They'll smash their heads, shoot them, stand in front of a little child, put a gun between their eyebrows and pull the trigger and be laughing. Hey, you want to see something cool? Watch this. And I'm gonna say that, and I might lose my channel for this, but doggone it, a lot of them folks that live over there in that country, that is not real, them is some straight up demons. They put them in the army and literally teach them. And beat it into their heads that killing other people is what God wants them to do.
Yep.
And killing a baby don't mean nothing to them.
No, because
unless it's one of their babies, then they have a problem with it. But if it is anybody else's baby, they don't care. They don't care. Oh, and when their time comes, when Israel, what happened in Tibet is going to happen in Israel. And that just came to me. Holy cow. So
what happened in Tibet?
That's when the mountain came down and killed everybody.
Oh, okay. That's the same. Okay.
Yeah. That's Israel is not real is going to suffer something similar.
It comes back. You know, what you put out there comes back. You put negative out there, negative is going to come back. You put good out there, good will come back, you know?
It sure does. What go around, come around. Greetings, Jackie B. Oh my goodness. Here, I am going to go to the top and see if there's any questions or anything that we can answer. Greetings, Denny Thomas, my friend. Greetings. All right. And y'all, I put in the live chat everything from the videos that I showed. If you would like to see the videos on the Viril, it is by We Should Press. If you would like to watch those videos, the Black Boule is by at Truth Unedited. And I don't believe I didn't play the Black Boule video, did I? I didn't. I didn't. So let me play that last video. Let me play the last video because I started, we went in reverse. But I'm only going to play about 2 minutes of the Black Boule because this one at Truth Unedited, it is a podcast and it's 35 minutes long. But I just want to play the first 2. You know what? I'm not even, hold on, maybe I will.
but we can watch the whole thing in the link if we want.
Pairing.
Yeah.
Bluetooth connected.
All right. So I'm only going to play
Of your
2
race,
minutes of
you
this.
must understand this group because they have been used.
Oh, yeah, no, that was still, you know what I'm saying. Man. We just can't let any person in here. If you want to be exclusive, you got to exclude people.
So this year in 2025 of Black History Month, it is time that truth is brought to the light and the enemy is exposed. There is history in the Black community that many are just not aware of, and yet the whole community is influenced by these people. There is a difficult subject that needs to be spoken about while I'm still able to. For the most part, if you watch my videos or are slightly aware of the lies to this world that we're born into, then secret societies are not a big shocker to you. And if you understand that, you know that we can mostly correlate a majority of agendas going on in this world with the different secret societies. Some are very well known and heard of, like the Freemasons or Skull and Bones, though we don't know a great deal about them besides what they allow others to know or what insiders have revealed and exposed. But there are many others, some that are high up in the food chain or hierarchy of dominance, that are not even known by the majority. Most people have never even heard of them, though they have yielded a great deal of influence. And this topic that I'm about to discuss will discuss one of the least known societies. And though in the grand hierarchy of this pyramid, they are not very high in importance in this world, but in the Black community in America, they are extremely high in the pyramid. And most people have never even heard of them. They are the gatekeepers of the Black community, and if you do not understand them, you will have so many false beliefs and attitudes of Black America, our struggle, civil rights, and many other subjects that will not be corrected if they are not understood. Now, this is not a racial issue. Regardless of your race, you must understand this group because they have been used secretly against the population. If you were one that was influenced by the civil rights agenda, you were directly influenced by this organization. Yes, their spirit influence and their target market, it was and is the Black community in America, possibly around the world. Though I would admit that. All right. That's 2 minutes and 7 seconds of that. If you would like to watch the full podcast, it is the Black Boule, the Secret Gatekeepers of Black America, and it's by @TruthUnedited. But what I want to say, coming off of that, is that the secret societies, these gatekeepers that are keeping, like at the beginning of the podcast, you can't have a secret society unless you exclude people. So the whole secrecy part brings everything into question for the secret societies. Why are they doing what they're doing? What is their ulterior motive? And why do they have to be, quote unquote, so secretive or exclusive? And for the most part, again, these are patriarchal societies. The one that is female, there's two that are female. One is the Daughters of the Revolution, DAR. Though that's a Southern group. Those are the Daughters of the, I think it's called the Daughters of the Revolution. The Southern Belles. They're white women in the South.
KKK supporting females, kind of.
Yes.
Thing.
And on the Black side of that, that go with the
Masons.
The Masons is the Eastern Stars.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, my grandma was, and I don't know why I couldn't say Mason because my grandpa was a Mason, and that's a secret society. And my grandma was an Eastern Star. And the crazy thing is, I have been invited to a secret society. I spent almost $300 buying the book. I got a crazy letter. I still have the letters actually. And it was like, and I don't know if somebody in my family is a legacy, why I got this invite to this group, but I got this invite to this group. I bought the first book, which was almost $300, and I read that thing from cover to cover, and I was like, nope, There is nothing in there that is for me. It was all about manipulation. It was all about it was a lot about having just wanting money and power. And that is not something that I am remotely interested in. I am not interested in controlling other people. And this secret society that invited me was mainly about controlling other people. I don't want to. So,
My
but I
uncle,
kept the book, I kept the invitation, and I got all the letters that they sent me. But it was crazy because they were courting me for like 2 years. 2 years. I would get a letter every week with these testimonies of these people who have gone on to be big this and that, all this money coming in and stuff like that. Oh no, I didn't want anything to do with it because the only person I want to be over is me. I don't want to be, I don't desire to be out there working my magic to influence other people to do things that they don't want to do. And that's what that whole society to me was about, going against people's free will.
my
And
uncle
when
was
you,
a
when you come to Vegas, I'm gonna show you the book.
Okay, okay. My uncle was Uncle Buck. He was a 13 or 33 degree, I forget which one it was, Mason. Mom talked about he had a ring and everything,
It's
but it was
33.
Mom's favorite brother, she said how always talking how smart he was. But it's like, I wonder, did he know what it was about, or do they kind of lure people in who think they're doing good works and things like that, and then later as they get up higher, they learn more and
That's
more.
exactly how they do it. They get the people in, the people who are agreeing that they want, the people who are, they recruit. So people who are in search of something, people who are young men, and these are always young men who need direction or who need friendship. That's how they draw them in. Young men who need a father figure, they draw them in, and that's why you have levels, and all those levels take years. So, but when you get up to that 33rd degree Mason, you've been through everything. And I think it's like 15th or 16th level is when you go behind the door. That's when you're invited into the inner sanctum. That's when you have to start making promises and taking oaths. And that's when you start learning the truth about who you're worshiping, who you're getting all this energy for. So when you get to be a 33rd degree Mason, you know exactly what the whole everything is about.
I
So
think
you
they
know
think
what
it
it is.
benefits them because there's police in there, senators in
Oh
there,
yeah,
congressmen
my
in there,
when
lawyers
my
in there,
grandpa
doctors
died,
in there.
when my grandpa died, and my grandpa was just this little old tiny, he was born at the end of slavery. His mother was a sharecropper. His father was some British soldier that came and made a baby with her, and then left her destitute with like 13 kids.
Oh
So
wow.
he no education, no reading and writing because it was still illegal to educate black people at that time. But he had to leave home to make his own way because there were too many mouths to feed, and he was healthy and he had to leave home. So, but he was a very small person, but he was smart. So, and he could count. He was really good at math. So he got his job, and y'all forgive me, but this is an interesting story. He got a job with a white cotton weigher, but the man didn't know how to read his own scales. And my grandpa knew how to read the scales, and he could count. So this man had a whole business, but was not smart enough to have the business. So this little child, he hired my grandfather to
Wow.
read the scales and count the money. So, and him being a mulatto, because my grandfather was mulatto. Now he's you could tell he was a black child, but he was what we call high yellow. He was very fair skinned. he didn't have nappy hair, and he had gray eyes. So he could walk into places where people who look like me couldn't. So, but that's just a little snippet of a story.
No, it's interesting, to know that about your grandfather.
But to know that that is a secret society, and that as much good as they do, there's still a hidden addendum to it. It's a hidden agenda, and everybody's not invited to it. And they keep men and women completely separate.
What is that group of people? They have the hats like this, and they the little tassels, and they just supposed to do
The Zostran. There's a couple of them that wear fezzes, but
Yeah.
the Shriners wear fezzes.
Shriners. That's what I wondered. If is that you think
That is
something?
another secret society. Yes, it is. The Shriners are a secret society.
And they seem to do so much good, is what they appear to be. So people think, well, I want to join, I want to be part of that. Maybe they start out wanting to help people,
Yeah, but you think of it. Most of them do. When the people get into it, including the people who are in the Illuminati, when they start throwing up that sign, hey, they've arrived. They've made it. They've got a song in the top 10. They've got a show on ABC. They're hitting their stride. And that's when they start showing all their reverence to who gave them all this power.
Blue Ivy's doing it now. Beyonce's daughter.
Well,
she
of course she is. Of course she is. Of course she is. And she is going to take over for Beyonce. She is in training. She is in training. And that's the crazy thing about Jay-Z and Beyonce, because right now I kind of feel both of them are in a whole lot of trouble.
I think so too.
Yeah, all of these sex crimes are gonna come out, but the whole thing is, the rulers are all corrupt. They're a part of the sex crimes. So when they throw these people in jail for the same sex crimes, you have to wonder. Just like how Jeffrey Epstein was quote unquote in jail and quote unquote got unalived, and now he's out living his best life. That's what I feel prison is for the rich people. They pretend to send them to prison and then exile them to some tropic isle somewhere.
I heard somebody, and I don't know, it was Congress or what, somebody, a politician had said that all the e-files were, that everybody in there was innocent. And people have read it and had nightmares over it, can't sleep over it. And they're saying, oh, they're all innocent. Well, why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail then?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But the person who says she's innocent, I guarantee, is either eating babies or sleeping with little girls or little boys. Period. And see, that was the whole thing. And I had been saying that for years before the Epstein files came out. Wait till they found out about the little boys. I had been saying that for years, because everybody is too readily available. I'm just willing to say, oh, little girls get raped. That's just a fact of life. But when grown men target little boys, then that mayonnaise turns sour quicker.
Yep. Which is why we heard that interview that explains why,
why Trump shits himself. Why Trump shits. Thank you, Sasha. Thank you. We love you. We love you. May you live a full and bountiful life. And may you always have a golden toenail on that foot.
And he don't even care. He don't even care. He just sits there and does it right in front of everybody with no.
Well, he can't control it. He has no control over his bowels. So you think, he has to just sit there because that is his reality. But you have to think, every time he poops himself, he's got to be thinking of Sasha. He's got to be thinking what he did to that little boy and what that little boy did to him.
Yes, he deserved what he got. At least there's something for the rest of
Every
his
inch
life
of it. He deserved every inch of it.
and
I'm
more.
so, and you know, it ruptured his intestines.
Oh, it did.
Yes, it ruptured his intestine. That's why and I don't understand why they just didn't give him a colostomy,
I
an
know.
ostomy bag. Because if he had an ostomy, he wouldn't be, he would still smell, but it wouldn't be as bad as it is with him eliminating. But I bet it's because he didn't want an ostomy. If he had an ostomy, he would be more of a normal person. But he
Yes.
didn't want the ostomy. He chose to wear them diapers. He chose to wear them diapers. So let him live in shit.
On The
May that
Apprentice, he had somebody who that was their job, to change his diapers.
to
That would be
change.
the
How
worst job in the
nasty.
history of
How
jobs.
disgusting. And
He
the
could
the
have
girl
given
that
up.
he's with now, that looks like Ivanka, I believe that's her job, isn't it? To
Yes,
change
yes,
his diet, change his nappies.
part of it. And
But
she also
she's
does.
sleeping with him. How could you sleep with somebody
There ain't enough
when you
money.
have changed their diarrhea butt?
There is not enough money in the world. You could give me $1 billion and I'd say, no, thank you. No, thank you. Keep your money. No, thank you. I just, ugh.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, y'all. We have been in here over an hour. I am
Oh,
so
really?
happy. We have. It's been an hour already. I'm so happy that all of y'all came to be with us today. Greetings, Cindy Lee. Greetings, Interplanet Janet. Greetings, Johnny Consciousness. Greetings, y'all. Greetings, Mildred. Oh my goodness. Oh, Interplanet Janet said the Nepal videos are so sad. Here, let me put it. The Nepal videos are so sad. Reminds me of a huge version of the Johnstown flood. If Dennis is still around, he probably knows what I mean. Exactly. And then Mildred says, I feel ill when I have to spend cash money. So I rarely spend money. Only my living expenses are paid electronically. Yes, yes. But y'all don't be afraid. Don't be afraid of money either. Just don't be weighing everything against it. All right. And Monday is coming. If you have not already done it on Monday, if you are having financial issues, go put your 16 pennies at a crossroad for a legba. Okay. All you got to do is find a crossroad. That is a road with 4 corners. And on each of the corners, put 4 pennies. And then, if you can, as you're walking away, give thanks to Alegba, Alegba. That is a deity of financial prosperity. And just ask Alegba for financial prosperity and thank them as you walk away. And walk away and don't turn around. Don't be like Lot's wife. Don't turn around to see if them pennies are still there. Just turn around and walk away, and then watch your financial issues change. And I have that on my community page if y'all would like to find that spell. All right. And that is at Tea Time with Tanya right here on YouTube, for everybody who is not familiar. All right.
I love talking to you, Tanya. You know, you guys, we talk every Sunday, and every Sunday it ends up being like 2, 3 hours, and we're talking about this stuff, and we were talking about this Sunday, and she goes, we should do a show on that. And I said, I haven't been on for so long, because just stuff, personal stuff. But, I was a little nervous because I haven't been on for a while, but when I'm with Tanya, it's just like, I forget time. I forget time. I just enjoy talking to you so much.
Well, you are my friend, and I love you. I love you. I love you.
I love you too, my sister friend.
Oh, Mildred says, damn, we have gone back in time. Not just 100 years, we're going back millennia. We actually are. When I told y'all that we are on a prior timeline, like this timeline is from like 2012, that's what I mean. That is exactly what I mean. We are in a different place altogether. Greetings, green-eyed goddess.
Oh, I
Greetings,
love that
Tony
name.
Temperance. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, look at Tony Temperance says, I bought 6 zucchini plants. They were all male. I've not gotten one fruit this season. How
Yeah, this
terrible
one
is that?
said the
And,
same thing.
and that's how they're going to try to make it to where we can't grow our
Yes,
own food.
yes.
But again, that is only for those who are dwelling in that third dimension. It's only going to be a problem if you cannot ascend out of that dimension. Inner Planet Janet says, I had a good little garden going, but it was wiped out during the August 11th tornado. But
Sorry.
better than the house still sucks since I was relying on safe veggies. I am so sorry, Inner Planet Janet. Mildred says they flower and then the top drops off.
Yeah.
Damn.
One lady said she plants tomatoes. She's been doing it for years. She does really well with her tomatoes. And this year she said it grew up like towards the sun, but she said she had no tomatoes, none. And she couldn't figure it out. Same soil, same thing that she'd always done.
This was the first year that my climbing that just grow every year, my annuals did not one of them sprouted. Because I let them climb up the house. Not one sprouted this year. And on my bike ride, there's a pomegranate tree that usually has huge pomegranates just hanging over this person's back fence. The pomegranates this year are the size of large grapes.
Oh my gosh.
So
What is going
this
on,
whole
Deann?
season has been compromised.
And are they spraying things? I know they're spraying things,
Well,
but
here
keeping
in
us
Las
from
Vegas,
having
our air is toxic here. When they keep saying that it's rained, but like I said, if it don't wash the sidewalk chalk off my porch, it didn't rain. So,
No.
but we supposedly had 2 thunderstorms, and it did not wash the sidewalk chalk away. But Mildred says, I have 40-year-old seeds. My father I kept when I cleaned out the family home. One day I'm going to see if they can still sprout. And I have, they're not 40 years old, but they are, some of them are at least a decade. I have a whole shelf in my refrigerator of nothing but seeds.
My daughter does
Seeds that
too.
I've taken out of fruits and seeds that are already packaged, but I keep them in the freezer.
My daughter does. Her whole backyard is a garden. My yard does not grow anything. My dirt is so bad and so hard. But I need to start learning to grow, to garden. Maybe get some buckets or something like that to grow in.
Here we go. Johnny Consciousness says, when I was in the Air Force, the civilian manager kept trying to get me to join the Masons. He used a lot of flattery. I was only 21 and clueless, but I know it didn't sound appealing to me at all. Exactly. When you know who you are, I think, and I really do think that y'all remember Pinocchio? Y'all remember the original Pinocchio? Remember the whole story about Pinocchio? About this little puppet just wanted to be a real boy. But when he had the opportunity to be a real boy, he made all the wrong choices. Got hooked up with somebody who was a complete predator, who sent them to that island, who was turning them into little donkeys. Remember?
Yep.
And all of that was symbolism. The donkey is an ass. Those boys were sent. That was Epstein Island.
They put it in our face. They put it in our face. They're not hiding it anymore. They're like, what was it? Nixon said, I'm not a crook. And they said, Trump
Nixon.
says, I'm a crook. What you going to do about it?
Yeah.
They laugh because they're getting away with it. And they think that, well, what are you going to do about it? It's going to come back to them.
Oh, goodness. All right. Hold on.
Oh, those earrings are pretty.
Oh, thank you. I just got an alert and I was just trying to see what it was. So pardon me. All right. So, but thank you for that, Johnny consciousness. Like I was saying, because they go after the young people, people who they feel like are lonely or need a mentor. Oh, here, Green Eyed Goddess says, my uncle was a 33rd degree Mason and said it's really expensive to achieve that level. And that's the only thing he ever shared. Yeah, my grandpa was a 33rd degree Mason. And the only thing we knew was that he was a Mason. He would put on his little white yarmulke, his little white apron. We never knew nothing. He would disappear early Sunday morning, early before the sun came up on Sunday morning, and then the next time we'd see him was at Sunday school. So
I heard
and he
if
would
they get pulled over by a cop, if they get if they go to, if they have to go to court, that as long as they're in the Masons, they're protected by the cops that are Masons, by the lawyers, by the judges. And that's the benefit of being in there,
yeah.
They got this
But
group that
but there's secrets. There's secrets because the higher you go, and the whole thing, it's just like it's and here's something that is crazy, folks. The people who go to seminary to become ordained ministers learn all the secrets of the Bible, all the truths and all the lies. And they have to make a conscious decision to go in front of their churches and deceive their flocks. That's why they call parishioners sheep, because you are being led to the slaughter.
I've heard that too, that they
Understand that.
decide what they're going to tell us and what things they're not going to tell us.
Yes,
And
you
they
can go
jump
back
all
to the
into it.
slave Bible. There
reading
was two, all these people, especially since there's this whole divide with the Christians and the secular right now.
Right.
They lied to the enslaved people, gave them a completely altered Bible to do one thing and one thing only, to justify slavery, to soften the enslaved so much, to do exactly what Martin Luther King did. Oh no, you're a slave, you're property. You have to turn the other cheek. When your master hits you, you just say, I'm sorry, master. I won't do it again, and turn the other cheek and let him hit you on that side too. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you very much. And that's what we all need to, as a collective, understand. That's why they call us sheep, so that they can herd us to the slaughter, so that they can tell us what they want to tell us, give us the information that they want us to have. All right? You have a fully functioning brain. Do not be afraid to use it. They want you to take it out and set it on a shelf and replace it with your faith in their book. You may as well read Hop on Pop or Green Eggs and Ham. In fact, if you read Green Eggs and Ham, you might get a little more spirituality out of it. I said it, I ain't taking it back.
You know what really bothered me when I was a little girl, that I found out that there was racism in the church, and I thought the church was supposed to love everybody, be kind to everybody, treat others as you want to be treated.
That's why there's a white church and a black church. They don't even want people going to church together.
Yeah, because they were talking about we having to get all our friends and family saved, or they're going to go to hell, all that stuff. And I'm a little girl, and I was really scared. And so I brought my friend Sherry to church with me, and they looked at her like she had two heads. And I noticed that. I was 9 years old, and they talked about, oh, black people had the mark of Cain. I didn't know what that meant. I was just a little girl, but I knew when I brought her, when I seen everybody treat her like she wasn't welcome, I never went back.
This is what they call the mark of Cain.
What?
The whole world was black. The whole world was black. Cain's mama and daddy was black. So of course Cain was black.
Oh. So why do they, it's like, why are you going the opposite of what they're being say you're supposed to be doing? You're supposed to love everybody, be kind to everybody. We're all supposed to be brothers and sisters. And then I seen that wasn't what was happening. And
but the one thing you didn't say was, you didn't say what race your friend was.
No, I
didn't. So you took a little black girl into a white church.
Yeah, and I didn't think
you felt her not being welcome there. But and see, that's why I say the star seeds, the enlightened, the us, the spiritually bound, not the religious. We see hearts.
Right.
We see hearts. We see people. Yes, we see
Your
color,
character.
but that doesn't rule us. And see that's what, remember last Sunday what I was talking about, I was telling you, no, you know what your lineage is. You know that if you have Dutch or Scandinavian or Irish,
Yeah,
you
even
know
Irish.
what your lineage is. And that
Mhm.
is why I was telling you, you should not call yourself a white person, because
Mhm.
that whole word, just calling yourself a white person, separates you and makes you something else. And if you look at the spiritual part of it, the whiteness is demonic. And I told you that. So y'all don't get offended out there. Just stop calling yourself white. You know, white people know where they came from. Now, black people, it's a little bit different. Black Americans, especially, it's different because they stole our names. They stole our lineage. They disappeared us from everywhere we came from, took our names, did not write nothing down for us. We lost our identities. So when they assigned us a color, that we kind of had to take that color, because I can't call, now I can call myself, I can say what I am,
You're
and
Scandinavian
I'm not
too.
gonna say I'm black. I'm
Mhm.
Anunnaki, doggone it. If you want to say what I am Anunnaki. But on this plane, oh, I will definitely be black, because black and nappy headed. Yes, because them is the chosen folks.
I asked Dad what we was because I said I wanted to know where we come from, and he said, "You're Heinz 57. You're a little bit of this and a little bit of that."
I'm a little bit country and I'm a little bit rock and roll. All
But he didn't
right.
tell us. He just said, "Oh, you're just Heinz 57."
Yes. Oh, here, Green Eye Goddess says, my uncle was actually a top level Shriner. I
Oh,
asked him about the Masons, and he said how expensive it is to become a 33rd degree. Sounds like a pyramid scheme to me, and it probably is just that. You probably have to bring in so many people for them to bring in so many people, for them to bring in so many people. And there's money attached to it every step of the way, especially even if it's only $5 in dues. You got to think, you got 500 people there times $5. That's a lot of money every week.
it is. I see Johnny Consciousness said, "We must remember we are not our bodies. We live in our bodies." I've always said that. I said, it's a vehicle. It's a
Yes.
vehicle that takes my soul where it needs to go, whether it's like a car. You got a blue car, a red car, a green car. That you are not the car. You are in the car, and it's your vehicle to get where you want to go. That's what I feel about this. It's just takes me where I need to go.
Deann, are you on your computer or are you on your phone?
Computer.
Okay, so if I gave you permission, so if you want to highlight a question, you can.
Oh, okay.
So that way you can just light it up if you see one you want to read. Let me see. Oh, Mildred says here, I'm researching my 3 times great grandfather, white father, who is suspected to be English. Yep, and that's like mine. And like my grandfather, and I don't even know if that was the man who impregnated my great grandmother, but my grandfather's last name is Blake. In English, Blake means black,
Oh.
but his father was a white British soldier.
Well, you did know, you said that you have Scandinavian in you like me.
Yeah,
And
I did the 23 and me. Yeah.
Asian, some sort of
Yeah,
Asian.
I'm Filipino.
Filipino.
I'm Thai.
Mhm.
I'm Austronesian, which is Australian. Um I've got some Caribbean in me. Scandinavian. I've got it's like I'm from everywhere in Africa, but I have not one relative there. So it's like I've got a little bit of Nigerian, a little bit of Ethiopia. Hold on. I can just pull it up.
I think we got Scandinavian on dad's side. Mom's side is Irish, Scottish, and Dutch, German, and then we've got some Blackfoot Indian.
You see, I've got Native American Indian as well. So here, I'll tell y'all what my Heinz 57 is.
When I said where we come from too, he goes, "You come from drunks and gypsies." He used to tell me.
Gypsies, tramps, and thieves. Here it is. I am 80.5% sub-Saharan African, whatever the hell that means. 59% West African, 30% Nigerian, 18% Liberian and Ghanaian, 10% Senegambian and Guinean, 20% Congolese and Southern East African, 20.4% Angola and Congolese, 2% Southeast African, 0.4% hunter-gatherer, 18.4% European, 17.9% British Irish, 8.7% English, 6.9% Scottish, 2.3% Welsh, 0.5% Nordic, 0.5% Danish, 0.6% East Asian, which is Filipino and Austronesian, and then 0.5% pure alien.
Pure alien?
Yeah.
0.5%. I think my daughter, she got Scandinavian and then part Mexican, part Spanish, and part Congo.
Right on. Well, I'm sure I did not need to bore y'all with my doggone ancestry.
I
But
don't think it's boring. I think it's interesting. We're friends. We like to get to know each other, you know?
this is true. Greetings, Val Bowen. Oh, Val says, you can't get more mixed than me. Chinese, Indian, African, white, and indigenous. Now that's Heinz 57. Val is Heinz 57. Oh my goodness. Oh, Green Eyed Goddess says all those racial categories are just used to keep us apart, created by the government, supposedly for the census. Exactly. Exactly. Yep. To make people feel bad that they're not this or that, or make them feel bad that they are that. That's all
Yeah,
that
my
is.
daughter don't know how to fill it out because she goes, do I put white? Do I put Mexican? What do I put? You know, she's a mix, you know,
Mhm.
mixture. And there's no category for her. And it's like, why do they need to know that anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, like Tony Temper says. Oh, where'd it go? Oh no, where'd it go? Tony Temper says, I have always checked off others just to confuse them MFers. Yep.
Yeah, it's none
And
of
that's
their
what we should
business.
all do. I think we should all check other.
I agree.
Check
I'm gonna
other.
do that from now on.
We should all check other. From now on, that's what I'm gonna do. In anything, I'm gonna check other.
I'll tell my daughter too to check other or just write human.
Human, yeah.
I'm a human.
All right, y'all. All right. No, we done been. Oh, Mildred here. Mildred is speaking to Deann. Says, Deann, sweetheart, you can't destroy something until you prove its uselessness. All right. So we're just a shout out to you. All right. Wait. Oh, here. And just talking to you. Mildred said Deann had a whole garden in 18-quart tubes, drilled holes in the side for drainage. I feed two households with that garden. Right on.
I wondered if I could
Right.
do that, like a Rubbermaid container and drill holes in the bottom and put dirt in there and make a garden that way, since my dirt is so bad.
Oh, that is a not terrible. That is a wonderful idea.
I may do
That
that.
is a wonderful idea because it's like right now it's so hot. Like I said, nothing grew outside for me, and my tree is actually dying. It's so hot.
It is out there.
It's terrible. I mean, but we haven't. It's right now. My computer. Let me click
Sure,
it.
it's just rain, 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 rain,
It's
rain,
it's
rain, rain.
already at 11:30. It's 101 degrees already.
I know I
So
called you and it was like the sun wasn't even up and it was like
and it was over 100 degrees.
degrees.
Yeah, at nighttime. When I ride my bike, sometimes now I literally have to turn the hose on and douse myself before I ride my bike because it's so hot. I wet me and Bailey down. I drench us before I take my ride.
How's
It is
Lake
so
Mead
hot.
doing?
Huh?
Didn't you say Lake Mead it was by you and that it was kind of the water was like going away? Like you're losing all
We're almost at Deadpool. Lake
wow.
Pool, Lake Mead is almost at Deadpool. Arizona, parts of Arizona may lose their energy in the next few months. They've already started their contingency plan because some places are not getting water from Lake Mead anymore, and Lake Roosevelt is drying up just faster than Lake Mead, and that one feeds in. So it's terrible. It is absolutely terrible here.
I heard Trump said that we might be without power, be expected to be without power for 18 months. You know, how would he know that for one?
Because they're
And
planning on it.
and why? So that they can get
Like
the AI data, use
get
all the
your
water.
everybody who's listening, please have some type of a generator, some type of a
I'm gonna get
generator,
one.
some type of a backup battery. Learn how to keep food cold. Learn how to dig deep holes because one thing that the earth is a natural refrigerator, and you only got to dig down about 3 feet. All right,
Oh,
and you
do
got
that.
natural cool, a natural cool thing. You've just got to build a little room around it and a way to access it.
I told Dale I want to get a Rubbermaid container and I want to put candles and matches and batteries and lamp, like get a kerosene lamp, the old kerosene lamps
You
for
don't
the
have that together already. You need to get busy. You
right,
take
right.
take you a little trip to Goodwill. That's the things in your emergency kit. A lot of like those old timey big flashlights that take
Mhm.
them C batteries. You need at least one of them because for at least a little while you'll have good light.
Well, I've got
One of
one
the
that has
a
crank
crank one, yes, a crank one is
and
even better.
solar.
If you can get those ones that have a radio, a light, and a siren on it,
I
and
have
all
that,
you have to do is crank it. I've got one of those, but
and it
you
also
need
has
to put that. You need your prepper box put together
yeah,
already.
yeah, I
If you
do.
don't have it together, you're behind the eight ball.
I told Dale as soon as we get paid next month, I'm gonna start getting that stuff together. And yeah, I got the radio. It's solar powered, it's crank powered, and battery powered, and I got it charged up too, so it'll be already charged. But then when the charge runs out, it's got batteries, and there's lanterns I want to get too. So I'm gonna next month, the beginning of next month, I'm gonna start getting that all together. After Gary, Indiana, some people said if Michael Jackson was still alive, he would have been helping them.
Yeah, yeah.
And I believe that.
Yeah, but you think about it. How many rich people are there just in America, and how many of those rich people are sitting on their thumbs, just saying, "Oh, it's so sad about those people." There are people. Look at Bill Gates by himself.
Mm,
Elon Musk got $1 trillion. He could drop $1 billion on Gary, Indiana, and it wouldn't hurt his bottom line. But the people who have money won't spend it to help anybody, and that's the important thing to remember. And,
they
and
say
that's why the good people, like that guy who's helping the people in Gary, Indiana, he's a
Mhm.
food reviewer, and
Really?
people are pissed off because he's helping black people in Gary,
That's right.
Indiana. But
Well, look
people
at
are
Trump.
mad at him because because he's using his money to do what the hell he wants to with his money. Now all these other rich people ain't nobody saying, "Hey, rich man, why ain't you helping us?" But this one black man who's helping black people, oh, everybody got something to say because why aren't you helping Puerto Rico? Why aren't you helping this? Why aren't you helping that? Why aren't your people helping Puerto Rico? Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that? People are so quick to say when you're trying to help your own, they so quick
Why
to
not?
say, "Oh, you wrong," but they ain't did nothing to help nobody in any kind of way.
And I truly feel because it is a poor black community, that's why they don't care, just like they didn't care with Katrina and they let that go on, and a lot of people would have been alive if that, I think it's just, it makes me sick. And so why shouldn't that guy help his own? Why shouldn't he? It's his money. Nobody else is helping him. So yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't know they were giving him, you know, a hard time.
yeah. All right, all right. I'm scrolling down, but you know what? We have been on here for an hour and a half now. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. All right. I love y'all. I love y'all. I want to thank everyone who is here, who stayed, and I apologize for my janky video optics. Y'all, I'm sorry I don't know how to share my screen. But at least you could hear. I know you could hear the audio well. So in the live chat, there's the addresses for all the videos that I played. So if you'd like to go watch them in their entirety, just please go back in the chat and write those down. All right. And here, just so I don't get in trouble with YouTube, I'm going to acknowledge all the channels where I've used their media. The one was the Black Boule, the Secret Gatekeepers of Black America, was created by at Truth Unedited. The Beware the Vril video was by Beware the Vril Parasites. They Control Everything was by at We Should Press. The Vril Paras the Skull and Bones. The Skull and Bones, Yale's Mysterious Secret Society was produced by at Infosphere. So that's that. And the last one is What Do Secret Societies Really Teach? And that is by at Morgue Official. So if you would like to go back and watch those videos, and I would like to thank all of those creators of those videos. Thank you. And this is Fair Use Act. So I don't know how to do all of that. So I'm just trying to cover my bases, y'all. I love you. I love you. I love all of y'all. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday. Namaste. And we'll see y'all back again when we got something to talk about. You want to say anything, Dean?
I just want to say I had fun and I'm glad I came on, and it's so nice to get to hang out with everybody, and I enjoyed myself.
And I'm so glad that you're here. I'm so glad that you're
I
here.
always have fun
Y'all,
with you. I always do.
if you are not subscribed to Deann's channel, please subscribe to Deann Shield Maiden Tarot, or subscribe to Tea Time with Tanya. We love you. We love you. We love you. Y'all have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, and thank you for being here with us. We appreciate y'all. Bye-bye.
Adios.